Hello, everybody, and welcome to another retro house format Yu-Gi-Oh stream. If you didn't catch the last one, what I'm doing is I'm playing format that I sort of made up myself, where we're playing with cards up to before Strike of Neos. You can play cards from both the TCG and the OCG that were released up to that point, and there's a custom ban list as well. You can find the details of the format in the description, but basically, we're playing old school Yu Gi Oh! With some of the modern rules. Um, anyway, the point of this is to have sort of a fresh and fun experience with the old cards. So that you don't necessarily play the exact decks you would have played at that time in the game's history. And the one of the decks at least that I'm playing today is highly unconventional, maybe not good, but that doesn't matter. It's incredibly fun. So I want so the structure for today will be basically I go over the two decks that I will be playing today, and we're gonna jump into some games versus my opponent, who is bringing two decks that we will sort of explore as we're facing them. Okay, so the first deck of today. Also, let me bring up the chat. There we go. Yeah, the first deck of today is all about showcasing fusion monsters. So this guy over here, this silly koala kangaroo boxer guy, Master of Oz, this is what we're going for. So this deck was all about trying to showcase what we can do with fusion monsters in this kind of old format, just because it's fun. Now, if you're new to the game, you don't know what fusion monsters are. I didn't actually explain it on the last stream where I went over the rules. So you have what's called in modern Yu-Gi-Oh! It's called an extra deck, but in the old Yu-Gi-Oh! It's called a fusion deck. This deck you can fill with fusion monster cards, and that is a separate deck from your main deck and your sideboard. And you can summon fusion monsters from the fusion decks by playing certain cards. So usually, or sorry, the most old school way of doing this is playing a card called Polymerization, which basically tells you that you have to send certain monsters to your graveyard from your hand or field to summon a matching fusion monster. So in the case of Master of Oz, on it says Big Koala plus Des Kangaroo. That means those are the fusion materials you need to send to the graveyard in order to summon this guy. So basically, you're combining monsters into a bigger, badder monster that you can beat down your opponent with, sort of is the idea. Now, why the hell are we playing Master of Oz? Well, it just so happens that Master of Oz is the biggest fusion monster that only requires two monsters to be summoned with the cards that we're playing with. So you get a monster with 4,200 attack, with, of course, the downside being that you have to invest 3 cards to get this guy out. Not only the spell, but also 2 monsters. So if they kill our Master of Oz with a Sakura Red Storm or whatever, we're kind of sad. But we have a few ways in our deck to make this not as bad. So let's go over how we're trying to get this guy out and how we're trying to make it less expensive. But essentially, the idea is we will maybe gain some value by killing our opponent's monsters with this guy, or deal enough damage to them fast enough by simply, Fusion Summon is a special summon, so you can quickly get something on the board and finish your opponent off before they have a time to remove the monster as well. So our deck, of course, because we need Big Koala and Des Kangaroo to summon this guy, we are playing Big Koala and Des Kangaroo. So Big Koala is a normal monster. Those are monsters without effects. Just a big monster that we normally don't want to summon. We just want to pitch it with Polymerization that we're, of course, also playing 3 copies of. Same with the Des Kangaroo. Normally we don't play it, but this one is actually not terrible to set in defense position as a way to defend yourself against damage early. If the effect of this guy is if they attack into him and they lose the battle when he's in defense position, then he actually destroys their monster, which doesn't normally happen. Then we have these 6 very important cards. We have 3 copies of King of the Swamp and 3 Beast King of the Swamp. And these are very similar. We don't summon them to attack normally, but both of these say that we can substitute them for any fusion monster listed on a fusion monster. But if we do, the other monster has to be the correct one. So if we want to summon Master of Oz, we can have one of the monsters be either one of these, and then only the other one needs to be Death Kangaroo and Big Koala. So it makes it a lot easier to have the monsters needed to summon our Master of Oz. But also King of the Swamp can actually discard itself to the graveyard to search out a polymerization from our deck. So that's a very important ability because this spell is so important in this deck. So having a way to tutor it out is incredibly good. Now, all of these are also water monsters, which means we can play this card called Salvage that allows us to get 2 water monsters back from our graveyard. And especially good because King of the Swamp can discard itself to search out the polymerization. So it can discard itself, we can play the Salvage, and then maybe we can even repeat this, get the polymerization back, and so on. You can get some of the lost cards back when you're fusion summoning via Salvage. And another way we can get the lost value back is with Fusion Recovery. That allows us to get a polymerization back, but also a monster from our graveyard that was used in a fusion summon back to our hand. So these 2 are sort of trying to mitigate the high card cost of the cards that we're playing. And then we're playing some other cards to protect our fusion monsters. We have Defusion, that is a quick play spell that essentially sends our fusion monster back to our extra deck and then summons the monsters that were used for its summon to our field if they are still in the graveyard. So if we attack with the Master of Oz, they play a Sakuretsu Armor, whatever, we can play the Defusion, and then Sakuretsu Armor doesn't have a target anymore, and we get some monsters back. My Body as a Shield simply protects monsters from destruction, so that's the same idea. And Nobleman of Crossought is just, we need a way to get through our opponent's defenses. Otherwise, there are some monsters that, for example, just summon another monster when they're destroyed by battle, or monsters that cannot be destroyed by battle. So we need something to clear the path for the Master of Oz to actually start dealing that damage. So we have Nobleman of Crossought for that, to destroy face-down monsters. We also have Exiled Force that can do this. And then Premature Burial, of course, can get back really big dudes from our graveyard, which is important. In my format, you can also play up to 3 Pot of Avarice, but we settled for 2. This card is actually especially good in a fusion deck because you can shuffle your fusion monsters. So this one says you shuffle 5 monsters in your graveyard back into your deck, and then you draw 2 cards. But if you shuffle back fusion monsters, they go back into your fusion deck, which means that you can now fusion summon them from your fusion deck again. So normally you could only summon 3 Master of Oz's, but with this you could summon 9 of them theoretically, as long as you have enough polymerization and other cards to do it. So that's kind of neat. And you get card value once again in the process, so another way to mitigate the cards lost. We have some other cards to just draw for our pieces, like the Koichi just gives us card draw as a flip effect. Sangan, when he dies, he can search out some of these monsters that are important, so we can search out actually most of our monsters. All of them except Big Koala can be searched out by Sangan, so we can get this fusion piece if we need it, or a King of the Swamp, or a Beast King. So really useful. Magician of Faith can get back 1 spell. I'm actually allowing up to 3 copies of this card in my format, but we're only playing 1 because they are not good early on before you have a lot of targets. But once we have a few spells in our graveyard, Magician of Faith actually has quite a few options that she can choose from. So that's great. Then we have Call of the Haunted, just like Premature Burial, to get back big monsters. Jar of Greed, just to dig a bit more for cards. And also it can bait out Mystical Space Typhoons sometimes. So when they try to destroy it, you just chain it and you get the card. And the classic normal Board Wipes, Torrential Tribute, and Mirror Force that are just really good. We don't really need to go over the sideboard right now, I think, but we're also in the fusion deck playing Sandwich. All of the ones that are not Master of Oz, we basically try to never summon them. But it's good to have the option just in case, because it doesn't cost you anything. You can have up to 15 cards in your fusion deck. Those are the rules that we're playing with. So Sandwich, you might as well play it, because you are able to summon it if you have Sangan and King of the Swamp or Beast King of the Swamp with polymerization. And there could be a situation where maybe it's not ideal, but it's an option, you know? So if you need the Sandwich, you have it there. You can fuse with Sangan and one of the Beast Kings. Then we have Chimeric Deck Overdragon. Once again, a card that we normally don't want to summon. It requires Cyber Dragon and a Machine Monster. So we don't have Cyber Dragon, but we have the substitute cards, and then the Machine Monster can be Dekoichi. And this one, yeah, it's the same thing. We normally don't get it out, but it sends all the other cards we control on the field when we summon it. So you got to be careful about when you do it. Then it has 800 times the amount of monsters you removed in terms of attack, and it can attack a number of times. It can attack your opponent a number of times equal to the number of materials used for its fusion summon. So that's also probably something that we normally don't use at all. But once again, why not include it, because we have the slots anyway. Yeah, so that's the Master of Oz deck. I would say that's the fun deck of today. It doesn't have as high of a win rate as the next deck that I'm about to show. But this will be the first one that we play today. And the second one is playing, where is it? Relinquished. So this deck is showcasing not fusion monsters, but ritual monsters. Those are monsters that you don't have in your extra deck or your fusion deck. You have them in your deck, and they normally have to be special summoned, or actually ritual summoned, via a ritual spell card, which is normally a card that requires you to tribute a certain amount of monsters and add up their levels to the amount of levels on the ritual monster. You can tribute them from your hand or your field, and then you can special summon the ritual monster from your hand. So Black Illusion Ritual says we can ritual summon Relinquished with it, and we have to sacrifice at least 1 star in terms of monsters. So any monster really will do, because Relinquished is only level 1. And then once we have Relinquished, he's actually quite an annoying monster to deal with. So Relinquished can choose one of our opponent's face-up monsters and equip it to himself. So he's like absorbing their monster, and he gets that monster's attack and defense. And when Relinquished is equipped with one of our opponent's monsters, instead of being destroyed in battle, the monster equipped to him is destroyed. And our opponent takes the damage of battles in those cases. So it's quite hard to get rid of this guy by battling him. So we can summon this guy and immediately take control of one of our opponent's monsters as long as they have one face up. Now, of course, again, this has the problem that we have to play a spell, and we have to sacrifice a monster just to get one monster on the board. So it has the same problem as the fusion monsters. You're basically sacrificing 2 cards to get just one, but Relinquished has the upside of immediately getting you one of those cards back when he takes your opponent's monster, because they lose a card. So it becomes more of an even trade. And then we're also playing cards like Maju of the 10,000 Hands that allows us to get a ritual monster or ritual spell from our hand when we play it. So that's basically gets us the spell or the monster for free. So if we do that, it essentially cancels out, and we sort of get a Relinquished without really paying for it, which is amazing. So we have the Majus, and those are the best ones because they allow you to search for 2 different types. But then we also have the ones that give you only a specific thing, like Senju giving you a ritual monster, Sonic Bird giving you a ritual spell. The rest of the stuff is stuff trying to clear the way for Relinquished or support him in other ways. So Breaker is just a no-brainer to clear out our opponent's back row, like their spell and traps. Mystic Swordsman to help against face-down monsters. This incentivizes our opponent to play more monsters face up, because it automatically destroys face down monsters when it attacks them. And we have the Exile Force as well to clear the way. These are all warriors, by the way, these four, actually these five. So you can get them with reinforcement of the army. And then DD Warrior Lady and DD Assailant are also standard for that purpose. Magician of Faith can get all of the spells in her deck back. Sangan can search out both Relinquished and most of the other cards in our deck, some monster cards. So Black Illusion Ritual, we have to play. Premature Barrel can get Relinquished back once he's been summoned one time. So the way it works in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is if a monster has a summon condition, like Relinquished, you can only summon it in that way the first time, but once it has been summoned in the correct way and then sent to the graveyard, you can actually resurrect it from the graveyard, and like without ritual summoning it. So you could play Premature Burial on the Relinquished. And the same goes with Fulfillment of the Contract. This one is sort of like Premature Burial, but the monster is actually banished if Fulfillment of the Contract is destroyed. But otherwise, it works like Premature Burial, but only on ritual monsters. Nobleman of Crossed again to clear the way. And this, I'm not sure this is the correct thing to do, but we're playing Upstart Goblin, which just lets us draw a card and we give our opponent life points. This is just to dig for the important piece in the deck. This should probably be something different, to be honest. Then the rest is stuff to try to protect our Relinquished, because if our opponent can attack with 2 monsters, then Relinquished will not have time to absorb a second monster and will take the damage. So we have Sakuretsu Armor to just deflect attacks, Trap Hole to control certain monsters from gaining value, like Breaker. We can destroy him before he has the chance to destroy a spell or trap, so on. Call of the Hunter can get Relinquished back, can get Sangan back, all of that good stuff. We have Mirror Force, Torrential Tribute, just like in the other deck, and Jar of Greed, which is like an Upstart Goblin, but, trap form. So that's that deck. We can skip the sideboard for now. Those are the decks of today, and I think now let's jump into a game, and we're going to play the Fusion deck first. So I'm pretty stoked. So there should already be a game set up. And, yep, let's see. Let me find... I think he's supposed to be under Unlimited. Maybe not. I think Unlimited, but I have to find it. I think he's called Axlow. So let's find the game. It's not showing up. That's weird. Yeah, I'm filtering on his name. Oh, no, I'm messing up. Oh, sorry. I had the watch checked. Yeah, that was my bad. So if you check watch, then the same games will not show up. So that was my bad. There we go. Okay, so we do rock, paper, scissors. Okay, so we get to choose, and we want to go second for the extra card. Especially with this deck. Ooh, that's a rough hand, and there is no mulligan in this game. Because we don't have any of the pieces to actually make use of these spells. But he's just passing to me. That's unusual. Desk Kangaroo. Yeah, so I don't know his deck. I'm gonna set this for for some defense, and my body has a shield as well. Potentially protect this from Nobleman of Crossout or something like that. Breaker the Magical Warrior. So if I'm lucky now, he will use this because I can't respond, and then he will attack. That would be the ideal scenario. Yeah, so he does this, and Breaker goes down to 1600 attack. So if he attacks my face down monster now, then his Breaker will actually be destroyed. So he's gonna take... Oh, but he's playing Rush recklessly. So in the damage step, you can play cards that add or decrease attack. So he's actually able to kill the Desk Kangaroo regardless. So this really sucks. And I'm regretting my play. Yeah, I don't want to trade the Exile Force for this Breaker. Yeah, it was probably a mistake because risking losing one of the pieces slows our plan down even more, and we're already gonna have troubles with consistency issues because we need to find three cards before we can fusion summon the first time to unlock cards like Fusion Recovery. Okay, so we'll take 1600. And yeah, we gotta dig for polymerization and fusion pieces. I'm gonna activate the Jar of Greed. Royal Decree. This one is a continuous trap that negates all other trap effects on the field, so it's a crazy one. And means that Jar of Greed is negated, and all of our traps going forward will also be negated. So I guess we can set this one regardless. We don't have a way as it stands, I think, to get rid of Royal Decree. Do we? Yeah, I'm still gonna pass. Not sure if maybe I should summon Exile Force there to stop taking this chip damage, and if we draw Dekoichi or something. Desk Kangaroo. I mean, yeah, now I'm in a bad position. But now I feel like I want to try this again. Try to put the Desk Kangaroo just in case he doesn't have. Because I feel like I'm behind and I want to catch up by getting this Desk Kangaroo trigger. That could be bad. Don't know what the face down is. Yeah, I'm not sure what his deck plays actually. Would be easier if I did. He knows roughly what I'm doing, and I don't know what he's doing, so it's a bit of a bad situation for me. Ooh, Dekoichi. Okay, so he's getting cards. Yeah, I'm lucky if he just attacks here and does not have Rush recklessly this time. So then at least we get a kill. And this Kangaroo. Please don't have Rush recklessly. Because then... he can't activate my body as a shield in the damage step. There's special rules for the damage step. You can only activate cards that lower attack and defense, I believe. Yes, and counter traps that meet their counter condition. But for people who haven't played that much Yu-Gi-Oh, it's quite confusing. But yeah, that's one of the core rules. Is the damage step. There's like very special conditions for what you can and cannot play. Okay, so that's fortunate. We got our card back. Now we got King of the Swamp that we can use to search out the polymerization. One question is if we turn this Kangaroo to attack position and try to get rid of this Dekoichi. Oh yeah, he should take the 100. I think so. Try to clear this Dekoichi off the board. He can't activate traps. He could have quick play spells. But yeah, if he had Rush Recklessly, he would have played it last turn. So I figure it's safe to go for this. So I go to my main phase. Can discard this one to the graveyard. And then we can search out polymerization. We have 2 monsters in the grave. Still a way off from activating this Pot of Avarice. So we'll pass. We're both playing with kind of silly decks. But that's fine. You know, part of the fun of the retro format is showing some stupid decks. And I believe I've played his decks before, and he has things in the store for us, but it's kind of like our deck where you might need to draw a lot of cards before you have your combo. Alright, so we draw for the turn. Ooh, we could actually fusion summon this turn. So I kind of want to go for that. Let's start with the XL Force. So he can't go for things like Torrential Tribute, so we don't need to worry about that. So we activate Polymerization, send the Kangaroo to the graveyard, and now we can finally summon the Master of Oz. There we go. And now we tribute XL Force and target this card. Okay, so he negates that. So we could play Pot of Avarice, but then we can't play Fusion Recovery. So I don't know, maybe we wait until the Master of Oz is destroyed. I'm not sure. I think I can wait. So I'll go to the battle phase and attack this. Mystic Tomato. Okay, so this is one that when it's destroyed by battle, he gets to special summon a dark monster with 1500 or less from his deck. Face up attack position. So he can search out something useful here. And he goes for Sangan. Makes sense. Sangan is limited for a reason. You can only play 1 copy. Yeah, so I have to go to my main phase. 2. And we put a Fusion Recovery down to pretend that we have something, maybe. Yeah, so the text that you see on the screen for Sangan is not the one that we're playing with, because Konami errata the card So basically changing the effect of Sangan. But of course we're playing with the effect it had at the time when it came out. And in general, I don't think you should be doing this, where you just change the effect of cards to try to unban the cards. Okay, so we got my body as a shield. It's nice to protect the Master of Oz. And we got... So we could still play Fusion Recovery, but there's not much of a point. Or is there? No, actually, there is a point. We could get a Kangaroo back to try to start dealing damage. So let's do that. Activate this one. See if he changed anything. Nope. So we get one of the Kangaroos back. And also the polymerization. And then we can play a Kangaroo. Looks like he has no reply. So we play the Kangaroo and we attack the Sangan. He got a great Maju set. Wait, can he do that? I think so. So we barely had the time to see what it does. But it's a guy that has 0 attack and 0 defense. It's level 6, so it requires 1 tribute. It's a dark monster, but most importantly, the attack of Great Magic set becomes twice the original attack of one of the monsters tributed for his summon. So he can become quite huge. So let's set my body as a shield. Oh, wait, no. Never mind. I need to attack with the Master of Oz first. So much time passed that I even forgot I did not attack with the Master of Oz yet. So he takes 4,200. Quite a big deal. Next swing is lethal. So we put my body down. And potentially now he can do his combo where he summons the Great Magic set. Yeah, it looks like it's time. So he plays Instant Fusion. This is one where he has to pay 1,000 life, and then he can special summon a fusion monster from his fusion deck that is level 5, but he can't attack, and it's destroyed during the end phase. However, he can tribute this card. So he can get a card called Man-Eating Black Shark, and then he can tribute that for the Great Magic set. Yep. And now this has 4,200 attack, just like our Master of Oz. So that's pretty funny. And I can't stop this attack with any of our cards. So we're gonna take 2,700 damage difference. And we are both very low on life now. But yeah, all I need is like these. I can attack this Great Magic set with the Master of Oz, and then probably finish him off with Dekoichi if I play that. Because he only has 1,100. I could play the Pot of Avarice first to see more options. Perhaps. Yeah, let's do that. That's 5 of them. So we shuffle, and we draw 2. You see 2 Beast Kings. Those are not enough for lethal. I could still fusion summon. No, that would actually destroy our board. So we played Dekoichi. We go to the battle phase, unless he has a response here. Okay, no response. He could have had something scary, like Book of Moon, flipping our Master of Oz face down. That would leave us in a position where we lose next turn, because he can attack the Dekoichi, and we cannot change his battle position this turn. And I think this is going to be a game. Alright, so we win the first one. Another question is if we bring in some sideboard cards, and we actually have this Mask of Restrict continuous trap that can make it so players can't tribute cards. That could stop his combo, so that seems pretty good. Although Exile Force tributes itself, so we'd probably remove that. He does have Royal Decree, though, to stop cards like Mask of Restrict, so maybe we don't go for that. I'm not even sure we should be that concerned about Royal Decree, because we are only playing 5 traps, and some of them can be chained to its activation. So maybe we just stay with what we already have. Seems pretty fair. All right, let's just stay with what we have. So now he gets to choose, so he decides that we start. And with this hand, it's of course going to be Dekoichi. Exile Force is just vulnerable the first turn. But if Dekoichi is attacked, we still get our card back. All right. Yeah, so we'll flip some of this first, because if he has Torrential Tribute or something, we want to have drawn the card first before he has a chance to destroy it while it's face down. We got a Beast King, so 1 fusion piece. We don't have Polymerization. But I think Exile Force and then trying to get rid of his face down card might make sense if it's a Mystic Tomato. So we use the Exile Force, we target this. It was a Mystic Tomato, so that's good for us. And go to the battle phase and attack with the Dekoichi. Start dealing some damage. So I think this time, to not give his breaker any targets, I'm not going to set my spells and just pass. Who did the side freeze or something? Oh, it caught up. It caught up. Oh, actually, I should go to full screen. This is a much nicer view. So he's thinking, I guess. Yeah, both of our decks are pretty slow at assembling the combo. This is the main issue, that you require quite a few pieces before you summon what you need. It's way different in the Relinquished deck, where it's very easy to assemble what you need. Because you have so many cards that search out the pieces that you're using. And also you only require 2 pieces, a ritual spell and a ritual monster. The third thing you require is just a monster, but you have so many monsters that you almost always have a monster. So he decides to just set a card and pass. We draw another Fusion Recovery. We're having this problem where we're drawing all the cards that like we want to use after we did the fusion, but we haven't done the fusion yet. So, also I don't know if I should summon this or set this Magician of Faith yet, because if it's attacked, we don't have a spell in our graveyard that it can fetch. So I'll go to the battle phase, attack with the Dekoichi. And maybe because he has so few monsters, I'll still set this Magician of Faith, I'm not sure. Maybe put down the Fusion Recovery. In case he has a breaker, he can destroy it. And then if he attacks the Magician of Faith, we can flip it and get it back. Something like that. Oh, he plays Call of the Haunted. I believe we could have done this last turn. It's quite a problem. Because if the Mystic Tomato attacks this, both of them die, and then the Mystic Tomato can get something from his deck. So this is terrible. Yeah, so you have a max hand size of 6 cards, if I remember correctly. It's so rare that we actually use it. Oh, but he's not doing that. He's tributing it for the Magic set, so this is actually better for us. So this one now has 2,800. Yeah, it would have been a lot worse if he gets rid of the Dekoichi and then attacks the face down. With this ordering, we actually can use Magician of Faith unless he attacks it right now. Because then we can play Premature Burial, get the Exiled Force, tribute it, get rid of the Great Maju, and then flip to get the Premature Burial back. So that would be nice. Oh, I forgot to I forgot to give the thumbs up. That's why he was thinking. I thought he was just thinking. Yeah, that's all good. So I'm gonna take 1,400. Okay, so he did it the way that I wanted things to go. And now he's setting. So we draw for the turn. Sangan is also quite nice. We can search out a Desk Kangaroo, perhaps. Or the Beast King. Probably the Beast King. So, Premature Burial. We have to pay 800 life, actually. And we special summon the Exile Force. And then we tribute it, and the Premature Burial also goes to the graveyard then. Alright. So then we can flip summon the Magician and get the Premature back. Unless he has a response, but it looks like okay. And we play the Sangan. And now we can just attack. And go with the Sangan too. Yeah, he wasn't. He fortunately he did not get instant fusion with the Great Magic set. Okay, so I guess now we can't really do much else this turn, so we'll pass. And I'm not sure he would go for this if he didn't have one extra Great Magic set, but maybe he wanted to do it anyway. So we draw for the turn. Yeah, I'm unsure how aggressive I should be here. There's no... Yeah, probably just attack with these. Means I give him 3 turns. 1,300 a turn. So in 3 turns, I win. If he doesn't respond. I could turn the Magician of Faith to defense, but... seems maybe overly defensive. So I'm gonna have a low attack monster on the field anyway. I guess the worst case if he summons 2 monsters in the same turn, and then he can deal a lot of damage on both of the attacks. Let's get some water. So now it looks like he's thinking again. Maybe he has a chance to go for something. It would be unfortunate if I play this deck and we only get to see Master of Oz summoned 1 time. Ooh, this is nice. He plays Giant Trunade. So this one is limited in the format. You can only play 1. Returns all spell and trap cards on the field to the hand. So because Call of the Haunted stayed on the board, it's going to go back into his hand. So this is a weird thing about Call of the Haunted, is that if the monster is not destroyed, then it stays on the board. So if you tribute the monster that is summoned with Call of the Haunted, then Call of the Haunted stays on the board. So now it looks like he can go for something wacky here. Yep. Gets the tomato. He has to take 800 damage though. Yeah, so maybe we are getting punished here. Pays 1,000 more. Ooh, he's going dangerously low though. The man-eating black shark. So yeah. Oh, he tributes both of them? Okay, I forgot this was in his deck. So he plays a Blue Eyes White Dragon, which is just a monster with 3,000 attack, famous from the anime. Okay, that's funny. So I'm gonna take 2,700, and this goes to the grave. That was very, very expensive. And I think he went for it now, because if I attacked 1 more turn, he would only be able to afford playing 1 of these spells. So he passes to us. And I can play the Premature Burial on Exile Force. If he doesn't have a response to that, we win. So we pay 800. And he plays the Mystical Space Typhoon. And since it's an equipped spell, that means it does not resolve. So I think here we can't get through the Blue Eyes. So I think I just have to turn the Sangan to defense position to not die to this attack. Maybe set a Fusion Recovery just to pretend we have something. And we pass to him. Because we don't really care about the fusion recoveries at this point. But yeah, in this case, if he just plays another monster, we could lose. He just attacks Sangan with that one. Ooh, we play Smashing Ground. That actually means we lose. So the Sangan goes to the grave. And we get to search something, but presumably he's just gonna attack. Okay. So that's a good game. Well played by him. Okay. So Phil, we're drawing into the cards that are only useful when we already have other cards. Maybe we get rid of a defusion for a breaker or something. That seems good. And Banisher for the Radiance could help against the Mystic Tomato as well. So maybe that's a good idea. So I'm thinking I'll try that. Maybe drop a Pot of Avarice. Because we're having trouble getting to that many. And I guess the Jars of Greed are not essential, so we can swap out those for more Banishers. And this seems good. So we can go second. Yeah. All right. We got a card that can get us Polymerization. Got a big Koala. Just need another fusion thingy. The Koichi is okay. Yeah, so we use this right away. Lowers the chance that we draw into the Polymerization. And then we just set the locomotive and pass to him. All right, so this is the closest we've got to like a quick Polymerization play. We would love to see more King of the Swamp here, I guess. He just plays the breaker and attacks. So that should resolve, and we should get a card. There we have the other piece. Very nice. So let's try it and just hope that he doesn't have a response. So Polymerization. So we send this to our graveyard. And this one too. And we get to summon a Master of Oz. And let's hope this attack works. Sakuretsu armor. Okay. So this goes to the graveyard. We do have Fusion recovered to get things back. But we don't need to use that now, because we can't do anything with it this turn. We could set one of the monsters, but then Breaker can just kill it. So we will pass. So we'll take 1900. And we're still in a position where if we just get one fusion material, then we can fusion summon again. So there we go. So we can fusion recovery, get big koala and polymerization, and then just fusion, and then we can actually salvage for King of the Swamp and another King of the Swamp. So that seems really good. So polymerization to hand, big koala to hand, play the polymerization, we get the big koala. So with Fusion Recovery, I can actually get King of the Swamp. Oh, Big Koala and Polymerization. The Salvage can get back King of the Swamp. So I can summon another Master of Oz. So finally these cards are coming, are actually useful. So we get the Big Koala back into our hand. And the Polymerization. Then we can play the Salvage to get the Beast Kings back. And we can play another Polymerization. So we get another Master of Oz. And I figure I will attack his face down first, because if it's a Mystic Tomato, then we can attack what he summons. If we want to. Okay. No, but he has Mirror Force. Yeah, maybe this was too greedy. But okay, so these die. And now we have to have Pot of Avarice. Yeah, maybe slightly too ambitious. It's interesting he plays the traps even though it's Royal Decree. But you don't need to activate Royal Decree until you're really going for your big plays. Okay. Well, this is bad. This is really bad. Now we actually need Pot of Avarice, or there's no way. There's so many ways in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where you can just look silly. The problem is we're playing a deck where it's like we are very... I mean, you can't play it carefully. But playing it carefully might also mean that you're just too slow to do what you're trying to do. So we take 2,800 and then 1,900 from the breaker. And we're almost dead. Alright, so we draw for the turn. Right, so if we had more Master of Oz in the Fusion deck, could actually Fusion Summon here, funnily enough. Because we could fetch a Polymerization with King of the Swamp, and then play Salvage, get them back, and then get a Master of Oz out to sort of try to get ourselves out of this situation. But as it is, we have to concede. Alright. Maybe not the best of plays by me, but at least you got to see, you know, the fun of the deck. I think it's just fun summoning this guy, so I'm having a good time regardless. I'm gonna take a very short break. After the break, we're gonna play. I'm gonna play the Relinquished decks against one more of his decks. So stay tuned for that. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody. We're gonna we're gonna play the Relinquished deck against whatever he's playing. He told me what it is, but you guys have not seen it, so we'll keep it a surprise for now. All right, let's see if he's hosted. There we go. Go with scissors this time. Nice. We are on top of our rock, paper, scissors game. Small victories. Okay, nice. Not bad. We already have what we need to get Relinquished out. Relinquished has one of the most convoluted card texts of all time, because he does so many different things. All right. I believe we start with Sonic Bird, because that one gets the spell, which we already know that we want, because we already have the monster, and then we can keep the flexibility of Maju for later to see if we want something else. Play the Sonic Bird. And again, this deck is much more solid and consistent and seems actually pretty good. So we get the Black Illusion Ritual, and we already have something we can tribute in the Sonic Bird, but for now we'll use it to attack. Gravity Bind. Actually, I don't even remember if I have something to get rid of this card in the deck. But okay, so this one says that level 4 or higher monsters cannot attack, and it's a continuous. So this Sonic Bird will not be able to attack as long as the Gravity Bind is there. But we're going to set some traps. What we do have is Sangan to make him... Sangan is level 3, so we can attack with Gravity Bind. Sorry, even when Gravity Bind is active, Sangan can attack. The same goes for Relinquished, but in order for Relinquished to have attack, we need to steal one of his monsters. And I believe in this deck, he's funnily enough playing monsters that are very low on attack. So that's going to be kind of a weird interaction. Yeah, there we go. Charcoal Impaki. So he's playing all these very tiny normal monsters, and then he's going to play some spells along with that. So he's playing this one, a League of Uniform Nomenclature, a trap that allows him to summon 2 level 2 or lower normal monsters that are the same as one of the ones he already has. So he chooses one of the ones he already has. And I think he's going to go for a combo, so I'm going to respond with Torrential Tribute to try to destroy all of these cards. Okay. So that happens. He has a combo where he can basically make his really small monsters really strong. He plays a card that makes their defense and attack value very high, and then he swaps their attack and defense, and then each of them will have something like 4,000 attack, I believe. Yeah. So it's pretty crazy. So this is another one, Enchanting Fitting Room. So this lets him send the top 4 cards of his deck to his graveyard and summon the level 3 or lower normal monsters that he sees from those cards. So he can still summon some more of them if he's lucky. Kozaki. Oh, this is the worst card in his deck. It's the best final option available. Okay, so he got 2 of them. But yeah, Kozaki is not exactly what he wants to be playing. because he has a low defense value, and for his combo you want it to be high, but he needed another low-level normal monster, so he's still playing the guy. Depending on the amount of cards I have that can get rid of Gravity Bind, this may be a very slow game. So I draw for the turn. Okay, we got an Exiled Force that can get rid of something. We also have the Relinquished. So I think it's time to use that. So since we already used the Sonic Bird, we're more likely to be able to get monsters, I think. I'm gonna search out the spell with this one, I think. So I play Maju, and we take the Black Illusion Ritual to our hand. And then I believe it's time to use it. So we can special summon, or a ritual summon is both a ritual summon and a special summon. So we put him in defense mode. So we use Relinquish to steal this guy. So now I have to make... How do I... There we go. So I move him down here to show that he's equipped to Relinquished. And I believe I just pass after that. So I could play the Exiled Force, but I kind of want to use that to get rid of something that's more annoying than the Kosaki, to get rid of something that has a high defense value, like Oppressed People. And now it's back to him. So basically I'm doing this because the fewer monsters he has, the less likely it is that he's going to be able to kill me with his combo, because his plan is to deal a lot of damage in one turn with the combo. And so if I'm chipping away at the combo pieces by taking monsters away from him, it makes it much harder for him to actually win the game. Okay, so now we get a Mystic Swordsman, so that can get rid of the Kosaki, so this is perfect. So we turn the Relinquish to attack, we normal summon this, we go to battle phase, and we can get rid of the Kosaki. And the Relinquished can attack directly. And then we just pass. It's quite nice too, because Relinquished has to be attacked twice to die. So, of course on the combo turn that doesn't matter much if he dies or not, because he has such a low attack. Upstart Goblin, yeah, we could play it, but he gets more life. I think we play it anyway. Yep. And then we go to battle phase. We attack. And with the Mystic Swordsman as well. And we can set this job free. Alright, looks like we're doing well, but it will take time to chip away at his life, and maybe he will then have enough time to get to a combo again. So he's playing another one of these, Enchanting Fitting Rooms. If he's unlucky, he doesn't get any normal monsters from this, but he plays a decent amount of them, if I recall correctly. I think it's above 10, above 12 maybe, something like that. 12, 14 normal monsters. Oh, sorry, I forgot that I had to tell him if I'm responding or not. Oh, actually, this one is just like Kosaki. It's bad in the same way. Oh, he got a really good one. So he got the DD Trainer. That's a 2000 attack one. And Oppressed People, another 2000 attack one. Yeah. Actually, Ooh. Yeah, I might be losing here. It's probably a mistake to not keep Relinquished in defense position because I'm so vulnerable to this combo now. Yeah, so he gets to summon more. So it looks like he's gonna go for a crazy turn here. Because now we can summon two of the DD trainers. Yeah, I was greedy. I should have put the Relinquished in defense position. But okay, so it says this increases... so this is the part of the combo at least. I don't know if he has all the pieces. So this increases the original attack and defense of all face-up level 1 normal monsters on his field by 2,000 points until the end phase. But I believe they're all destroyed. Yeah, and then he has to destroy them. Then he plays Shield and Sword, swapping their attack and defense. So all of these that have 4,000 defense now have 4,000 attack instead. And I am definitely losing this game. Actually, I don't even know if I would have survived if I had the Relinquished in defense position. Would survive 2 attacks, but... So this one only has 2,400, so I'm gonna take 2,000 damage. Oh, actually, no, I don't take... Now I remember... Wait, does... Oh, both of us take the damage. Oh, yes. Okay, so Relinquished doesn't make it so only he takes the damage. It makes it so both of us take the damage. Oh, okay, now I get it. Now I get it. So Relinquished... Wait. Yeah, so Relinquished defense was actually 2,000, and he played Shield and Sword, switching all face-up monsters. Okay. So I should only take... I should only take 400. Okay. Doesn't matter. I'm still dead. But, I mean... Yes. Yeah, I love this deck. It's such a cool thing. Okay, so now I die. That's 4,000. Oh, it's lag. Yeah, I'll just admit defeat. Nice. Well played by him. Yeah, I was not careful enough. But that was kind of crazy though, that he got all of those monsters with the enchanting fitting room, but that shows how explosive his deck can be and how careful I need to be. So I think I'm gonna get rid of the trap holes because I don't think they actually do anything. But that's such a funny and cool combo. I just love that deck. So we can swap these, get the Dust Tornadoes, and these can get rid of Gravity Bind. Probably will want to get rid of Upstart Goblin too. Get Mystical Space Typhoon for Gravity Bind. And is there something else that would be useful? Like Fulfillment of the Contract seems like maybe not as useful. not going to happen a lot of times because he really only interacts with my board when he's trying to win the game. So after he attacks, I'm either, yeah, I'm probably dead if it gets to that point. So I figure maybe we can get rid of those. We put in some Death Wombats, not because they're great, but they can actually attack while Gravity Bind is on the board. So let's try that and repeat what happened on the last stream where Death Wombat is the key card in winning. Yeah. Normally, Death Wombat is a card you want for burn decks because it makes the effect damage I take 0. I think this is good now. So we're happy with this. And let's go second again. Especially when playing against him because he just needs a lot of cards to get to his combo. Yeah, so he's the one that starts, and I'm gonna get some water. Passes. Okay. That's perfect. So we can play Senju. We get the Relinquished into our hand. And we can start chipping away at him with the Senju. And we set the traps. Level Limit Area B, which is basically the spell form of Gravity Bind. This one turns all face-up level 4 high monsters to defense position. So we draw. We can play Jar of Greed just to see another card. And then we can play the Death Wombat. The card is clearly overpowered. Yeah, and then we just pass to him. So the Wombat actually doing work. For now. Okay, so we put something down. Probably something that we can't get through. But we could attack it with the Wombats and then get rid of it with Relinquished. As long as we have the ritual spell. So we can get the spell with the Sonic Bird. And we add the spell to our hand. And we go to the battle phase and we check what this is. Right, so it's oppressed people 2000 defense, so we're gonna take 400 damage. Then we can play the Black Illusion Ritual. We can send the bird to the grave. And we special summon Relinquished. And we can steal this. To clear the way, we just move it here. And we pass. Actually, a neat thing we can do is we can summon another Relinquished, potentially. And then if we have 2 of them, we create a wall that basically is impossible to get through in just 1 turn, making it so he can't kill us easily with his combo. So he passes. Okay, so we could just play another Wombat and put him on a big clock here. Seems good. So now he dies next turn if he has no response. And we pass. Potential problem here, though, is our board is being filled up. And we would like to be able to play another card that searches, like Maju? Yeah, we still can. But we can't get both Magician of Faith and Maju? Okay, we got Exile Force, so this is game. So we get through with the Wombats now. So once again, the Wombats being overpowered. And we get the win from the Wombats. Yeah, I guess I should think through again if any of these cards are useless, but I don't think so. I think this is fine. Maybe 7 Tools of the Bandit to stop his League of Uniform Nomenclature. That could be a nice idea. Might try to swap that in. Then what do we take out? So maybe 2 of those. We get rid of the fulfillment of the contract. Seems niche. We have Premature Burial and Call for Haunted. I think that's enough in this matchup. And the Jar of Greed, maybe. The other cards I still kind of like. Yeah, that seems fine. So we swap. Now I'm done siding. Almost misclicked. You gotta click on swap first. Okay. Looks like he's having a hard think about what he's gonna sideboard. He's on the ropes, so maybe he's trying to find a new angle to tweak his deck versus ours. And this time we get to go first. Ooh, we got a lot of cards that can attack while Gravity Bind is active. Okay, that's cool. So we can... I don't know if we start with Sangan. Maybe. Let's start with Sangan. And there's some lag again. There we go. And we just set the trap. But yeah, we have a way to get through defenses. We don't have a way to stop combo though. So that's our main problem, I guess, is if he just gets the combo pieces, he could just kill us because all we have is a Sakura Zormer as defense. But his combo requires a lot of pieces. He needs a lot of normal monsters on the board. Then he needs Triangle Power and Shield and Sword. So we can flip summon this. Normal summon this. This was the wrong order. I should play the Death Wombat first. Because now I just give him more information than I need to. So we try to do this. Could be Mirror Force here. But there wasn't. And then we set the Dust Tornado. Okay, good. It's amazing that on both streams the Wombat has actually been a pretty good card. By just being a card that attacks for 1600 damage. Ooh, he might actually be going for it now. So the Enchanting Fitting Room. Or it could be for defensive purposes. Because if he doesn't have the combo, then you don't want to waste the combo pieces prematurely. But yeah, you don't want to waste the combo pieces prematurely. Is he getting just... Okay, he got 1. So that's not too bad for us. And now he's using this to get 2 more. Okay. Yeah, I don't have a response. Didn't get the 7 tools in time. Maybe the right call would have been to... get another 7 tools instead of Dust Tornado. That could have stopped this. A Kozaki as well. Okay. Does he just have the full combo? It's kind of crazy. Or does he only want to clean this up to preserve some life? Dealing some damage in the process. Doesn't seem like it would be worth it. Seems like he would want to wait until he has Shield and Sword as well. But now he's thinking, oh, sorry. I have to. Yeah, he's not thinking. I was messing up once again. Yeah, so there's a Triangle Power. And he somehow has it. That's so crazy. Yep. Am I dead? So I can kill one of them. He might have a way to stop this. So let me calculate how much damage we're going to take. 4,000 from each of these. And then, so that's 12,000 and then 2,400. That's 14,400. And these will prevent 2,600 of that. So that's still lethal. So what if it's just these? Then it's 10,400 minus 2,600. So then at least I survive. So I Sakuretsu this, but he could have my body as a shield to stop that. Okay. So I guess I will survive for now. But now I'm gonna take a bunch of damage, 2,400. Oh, never mind. I think I die. I think I just die. 3,700 because this Wombat only has 300 attack. Damn. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna lose. We're gonna lose this game, guys. So 1,600. Wait, 2,000, 1,300 more. So I just die. That's. Wait, let's see here. Yeah, it's 3,400 again. Yeah, he has us. He got the combo. I couldn't do anything about it. That was crazy. But this is a homebrew of his that I just love. Yeah, and it's a really funny way to win the game with this shield and sword triangle power combo. Yeah. So well played by him. Not well played by us. Well, actually, there wasn't much I could do. Yeah, he just drew the cards that he needed. So that was great for him. He almost immediately had all the cards that he needed. And if that happens, it's actually really hard to stop. You need something that like blows up the entire board, like Mirror Force or Torrential Tribute, or you need a bunch of monsters in a defense position. But if you constantly keep your monsters in defense position, then you're not dealing damage to him. So then the game can go pretty long. But maybe the strategy should actually be to just keep putting monsters in defense position so that we don't die to combo. Although he still has Torrential Tribute in his deck, so he has a way to like clear up the board in those cases too. So it's not super clear. Anyway, very interesting. Love this deck. Might actually feature it on a coming stream. Yeah, that was that was cool. And this Wombat once again showing up, almost getting the kill. All right. Yeah, that's gonna be it for this stream. But I had a lot of fun. I love deck building with these retro Yu-Gi-Oh cards. As we saw today, I wasn't very successful, but on both sides, I think you got to see some interesting decks. this one that he was just playing is kind of weird, but it's actually not that bad because it can just kill you out of nowhere. Um, yeah, so 4 new cool decks. I'll probably be back with more Yu-Gi-Oh at some point. Still within this format, just showing some cool deck building. So hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff, so you see when I go live. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. So bye bye.